I think it's very interesting because I mean, I can see how it's helpful for investors, but it's also helpful for business owners. And I wonder, have you ever met anybody that, you know, reached that level of greatness, maybe perfection, effortless?
I think well, Steve Jobs was a longtime Zen practitioner, and I don't know if he, would have articulated it the same way, but one of the outcomes of Wei Wu Wei and effortless perfection is also simplicity. It's like learning that the ego veers toward complexity. The ego loves to layer and layer on concepts and ideas, and it gets enamored with its own brilliance. And so Steve had that penetrating mind where he could just see through all that and come up with this elegant simplicity. That's an example of what I'm talking about. And he, as a Zen practitioner, he had to have been exposed to these principles. Mm-hmm. And I think, he was a humble man. I didn't know him personally, of course, but like in that regard, he could get his ego out of the way. Now he brought it back in a lot in terms of how he led, he had a lot of anger, and, he was pretty intense as a leader. But that's a really good question. In the business world, it's pretty rare, but I think you're going to find more and more because, if your listener hasn't tuned out by now, then there's definitely interest in this as a skill / capacity. Everyone's birthright is to be able to experience life like this. But you gotta do some work, or you gotta be called to do the work to remove the obstacles and the blockages that prevent it. It's not so much accruing new things, Abel. It's actually removing false concepts and ideas about who you are and getting out of your own way.